It's the start of a beautiful day, and we don't know what's coming our way. Going on a train journey, took a train to Milan, had a walk in the park, took a tour around the city until it got dark.
It's the start of a beautiful day. Lake Geneva is coming your way,
where the water shoots high, 500 feet in the sky, and the Euros will come into play.
August is going to be a month of railways, and I'm going to be the person in charge of that. But before we get onto that, we're going to go back to July and speak to Jess. Jess spent the last 2 weeks of July in Switzerland, a little holiday that she planned around the Lionesses' football matches. Now, we don't do football, of course, but I'm sure she'll mention it as we go over to her for the next 10 minutes or so. I believe Jess actually started planning this holiday in July from when she first came back from Australia at the end of last year. It was based around the football matches as far as she was concerned, so she booked accommodation, flights and everything else bit by bit until she had the whole package in place, and she'd booked herself at least into the first match. Once she knew the results of each match, she was able to book another one. You can obviously do a lot more than go to football matches if you've got 2 weeks in Switzerland, and she took a number of train trips. This first one that she filmed took her from Zurich, where she was staying, down to Rennes, where she changed on to another train down to Geneva. Jess knows that I have an interest in the railways rather than the actual trains themselves, and I like to see the way that people and goods are moved around the country and countries around the world. It's also, of course, interesting to see what actual rolling stock they use to do it, but that isn't my main interest. So, of course, this is a train trip of quite a few hours, and you're only going to see a couple of minutes of it, but the minutes that I'm showing you are things like the sidings, where you can see a lot of the bits and pieces of the railway parked up and get an idea of how some of it fits together. And of course, she also knows that from all the scenery she passes through, I'm most interested in water. I do love lakes and rivers and being by the sea. Switzerland does quite well for lakes. So eventually she got to Geneva and went for a walk around, and also took some aerial views, and she didn't even need to have a drone. Jess took one of my DJI Pocket 2 cameras to film this, and I think you'll agree that she's really got the hang of handling this little camera.
Took a train to Milan, Had a walk in the park. Took a tour around the city until it got dark.
Jess discovered that you can get a train from Zurich into France or Switzerland or Italy. Well, she chose Italy and she did take a walk in the park. This one is called Sampione Park.
And they Georgie would make the fire line, and it was round the early through the night that we would cook corned porridge, of which I share with you. My feet is my only carriage, so I've got to push on through. But I mean, everything is gonna be alright. 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 Said everything is gonna be alright. So no woman, no cry. So no woman, no cry. Oh my little sister, don't shed no tears. So no woman, no cry. No woman, no cry. Oh my little brothers, don't shed no tears. So no woman, no cry. Thank you.
It's the start of a beautiful week with events that are truly unique. In Switzerland with Jess and the odd lioness, and an outcome so fantastic.
It's currently raining in Switzerland. I'm in Basel right now because I've got the football game later on, but thought I'd just come and show you guys that. So I'm in Switzerland, and then across the River Rhine is France, and then north is Germany. Museum of Brazil is currently closed at the moment.
It's the start of a beautiful week with events that are truly unique. In Switzerland with Jess and the odd lioness, and an outcome so fantastic.
So as we say goodbye to the month of July, football history was written today. We never report on that kind of sport, but rules can be broken, they say.
Well, if you know me, you'll understand that I can't tell you anything about football. It's completely off my radar. But I have to say that this young girl is so energetic, and it makes me wonder if I could have done this when I was her age. And then I remembered how I was in the gym at school, and no, I definitely couldn't have done any of this. As you can probably tell, the atmosphere is building during the day for a match. Jess was there. She had the camera inside the ground as well, and really I don't do football in my videos, but you'll get a glimpse anyway. I did once go to a football stadium. I was working for a radio station at the time, and my ears were quite pressurised with the level of sound there. And I must admit, if I'm going to be subjected to that amount of noise, I would rather it came from a rock band. But there we are, each to their own. Anyway, moving on, and a train trip to a place called Zug. Seemed an unlikely place. I looked it up on the map. It does exist. And the Zug Magic Show, which you're about to see a couple of snippets from, it's mainly described in German when I've gone looking for it on the web, but the translation basically says this is a multimedia show to immerse yourself in a multimedia extravaganza of light, video and image projections. That translation didn't actually mention the music. There is music to it too, a lot of which of course was copyright, so that's why you're only seeing a few snippets from this. those who've never been to Switzerland, and I'm one of them, you may wonder what the weather's like. Well, perhaps the weather up this mountain isn't typical of what you might see, but judging by the other pictures we've seen, and Jess did say it was raining a few times while she was there, it's very much like Britain. And as it's time to go home for Jess to fly back and watch the final in a pub on the big screen, we take a final look round Zurich, where she was staying, and what a tremendous holiday she's had. And she's been absolutely ecstatic about the football, which is a feeling, as you know, I can't particularly share. But you don't have to be a football supporter to see how great the Lionesses were, and everything they achieved was absolutely fantastic. And the homecoming back in front of Buckingham Palace was brilliant. They did us proud. So what have we got for you next week? Well, between now and the end of September, there's a lot of railway events on. I'm going to some of those, and I'm trying to track down the Stockton and Darlington railway events, because they've got a replica of the original locomotion number 1, which they're going to be running on, I believe, 3 different dates towards the end of September. I'll try and track it down for you.
It's the end of a beautiful day. Till tomorrow come what may.
We may travel by bus, we may travel by car, we may take the train to go near or far. The one thing we don't do is linger at home. The wanderlust in us guarantees we will roam. There's only one thing left to say. It's the end of a beautiful day.